Hello guys, welcome back to another video today. Since India, Ukraine and Russia had an empire, I'm looking at other countries that might want an empire. This time, Mexico wants one. We're going to start by invading Cuba. The US joins the war on the side of Mexico, seeing this war as a chance to eliminate more commies, I guess. So, Mexico starts to land across the coast of Cuba. These attacks aren't repelled as the Cuban military wasn't prepared. Eventually the US arrives and takes over the rest of the country. Hey, that was a pretty easy win. Now, they are going to divide Cuba. So, across the middle. Next, Mexico invades these countries. I don't know what they are. Okay, Mexico starts by landing on the eastern coast, taking over this little country here, and landing in the west. They block these two countries from global trade. Their capitals are captured and they capitulate. Because of the impending Mexican threat, the Central American countries unite, meaning it will take time for Mexico to prepare. So instead of invading Central America, they decide to go around it into Colombia and Venezuela. Colombia starts by landing on the southern coast of Mexico along with the Yucatan Peninsula, attempting to cut Mexico off from some of their land in the Caribbean. Mexico lands in Colombia and Venezuela, along with a few more across Venezuela's and Colombia's coast, since Mexico has access to both seas. The Mexican armies eventually managed to link up with each other, launching a full assault into these two countries. They move through the country at lightning speed, eventually taking the panhandle in a couple of weeks. Eventually Venezuela's capital is captured, forcing them to surrender. Colombia is being attacked on all sides. Finally, Colombia surrenders. Next two countries, Mexico is in. Next two countries Mexico is going to invade is Guyana and Ecuador. They start by pushing into northern Ecuador and cutting Guyana off from the seas. Eventually, Ecuador starts to push across the border, eventually reaching Guyana, but Ecuador's military is depleted. With this military weakness, they eventually come to, with Guyana being fully captured and Ecuador also being fully captured. Now, here is where the part where Mexico actually starts to get some colonies, along with Central America. Okay, so these are the 5 countries that they're going to attack. Since most of the military is currently located in here, they have no problem taking over the Panama Canal. The Central American's military moves into the Yucatan Peninsula and takes over the land in the Caribbean. Well, Mexico's land in the Caribbean. They keep pushing into Central America, and as Central America's attacks are repelled, South America capitulates. Now all that's left is Mauritania. I think that's like Ivory Coast, Namibia, and Madagascar. The Mexican Empire starts by landing across the coast of Namibia. They land in the north and south of Madagascar, and they start to land in Mauritania. They land in the Ivory Coast, eventually capturing all of their country. Namibia pushes back Mexico a little bit in the south, but eventually stops. Now Mexico is advancing into Madagascar's territory. Eventually they are fully captured. Mauritania does see some success, splitting the Mexican army into 2 and taking out the northern segment. But eventually, the Mexican army captures the entire south and orders a larger central assault to split the country in 2. This is carried out, and Mauritania's capital is captured. Following this, Mauritania surrenders to Mexico. All that's left is Namibia. They start by taking the panhandle up north, and then they a full attack towards the capital. They are slow though because of the deserts. When eventually the capital is captured, they surrender. Hey Mexico, watch out. The US decided to declare war on Mexico. Because Mexico might invade, and the US doesn't like that. Mexico starts by taking their land in Cuba and landing in California, while America captures, I think it's called Baja California, and keeps pushing into Mexican territory. The Mexicans land in the southern US and along the eastern and western coasts. These armies eventually link up, and the US's capital is surrounded. The Americans defend it fiercely, but after a few months of fighting, the capital is captured. This doesn't make the US surrender though, so they basically just capture the Great Lakes now. Their attack in Mexico is repelled, as the Americans are starting to go onto the defensive. Alaska is not fully captured, but they aren't seeing any success. Eventually, the armies in Alaska surrender. Well, if there even was any armies in there. Eventually, all of these armies link up and start a central assault. A full central assault. This works even though there's kind of mountains in this area. The US doesn't surrender though, but eventually the country capitulates. Now, let's watch that battle unfold. Starts now. This is the part where the US is starting to lose. Now the US has surrendered. Let's go back to where there wasn't any more, and then we can redraw the borders. Okay, so Mexico starts by fully taking Cuba. Okay, just gotta erase this very thin border that I drew. It ain't much, but it's honest work. I didn't make that up. I got it off the internet. Probably seen it before. Anyways, now it's time to draw the big border. Mexico is taking back a lot of its land that it lost in the Mexican-American War. Long as taking a little bit more. By little bit I mean a lot, and by a lot I mean a lot. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more, and yeah,